You know, Ed, you always have to be recruiting.
I agree.
Always be recruiting, like always be closing on your sales.
Yep.
And you have to have a burp.
A
building
burp?
it. Yeah.
We do that a lot, you know, a little.
No, like building a unique
dinner last
recruiting- build a unique recruiting proposition.
Burp.
Okay.
So you better have your elevator speech. I was meeting with a
good.
guy at Breakfast of Champions. I did a whole session on recruiting,
Oh, very good.
and this guy named Brian, and he was in the elevator, and I asked him for his elevator speech. He
Really?
couldn't come up with any.
Oh, that's
But you
awesome.
always got to be recruiting.
Yeah, I can see that. So it's really important to have a process for that.
Recruitment's critical.
You have some words of wisdom on that,
Sure.
Harvester Steve?
Again, we all know that recruitment's critical to the engine of a company, getting in high quality talent at all times. And there are a lot of features that Bill has identified in his book, as well as in the recruitment guide, that the recruitment kit, about how important recruiting is. Today's video is just going to talk about some very key points. First and foremost, keep in mind that recruitment is all about the numbers game. You have to have more recruiters giving more information out to more applicants all the time, because most companies don't have full-time recruiting staff. So you have to get more vicarious recruiters out there. One way to do that is a three-step process. I think the first step is just internal. Internal recruiting should be done through an employee referral program, where you actually pay your employees to recruit for you. So instead of having one recruiter, if you have all your entire workforce out recruiting for you, you have more numbers, you have more boots on the ground bringing in qualified candidates. Put together an employee referral program where, for example, if you bring in a new irrigator, you give the guy $400. If you get a new account manager, it could be $500. But you'd rather bonus your current workforce rather than paying some headhunter to do it. So internal recruiting should be done through an employee referral program that's lucrative, challenging, and successful.
That's a good
Do you
one.
want to lubricate the irrigator with a little
Yeah.
little green, huh?
Yeah, and you might even have what I call a time period, like a rush, a sale, if you will. Say by a certain period of time, you might up the ante on the intensity. So it might go to $1,000 if we hire by a certain date. So that really encourages them even to get the,
Sure.
put some fire in there.
Beyond the internal piece of the employee referral program, you should have an external component as well. Here, rely on your vendors, suppliers, key business partners, headhunters, community resources that are out there by calling them periodically and saying, hey, if you hear of anybody who's looking for a job as an irrigator or a foreman or an account manager or a controller or whatever, broadcast it out to your extended business partners out in the external community, because again, by having them be in contact, you have more boots on the ground, you have more recruiters out there to possibly send candidates your way, and that complements the internal piece with the external piece.
Vendors want you to be successful for a really long time. Why?
Yeah,
Because
right.
they want you to spend money with them for a really
Right.
long time.
There you
so
go.
they have a vested interest to help you be successful.
Without a doubt.
And they're a great source of
Talent is
recruits.
key.
You bet. You bet.
So you have the internal piece, the second piece is the external piece. Third is obviously technical. We're obviously in the world of social media right now. So it's very important for us to have a key leverage point. You should have jobs on Craigslist, LinkedIn, Twitter, Monsterboard all the time, because you never know when things are going to run out. And also your homepage should have current vacancies listed all the time. You should be refreshing all that social media on a weekly basis, because again, the more access people have to that information, the more likely you're going to get more job applicants bringing in qualified talent to your company. So an internal piece, an external piece, and a technical piece at the bare minimum to keep that constant 724, 365 recruitment machine moving forward to get the right people into your organization.
Yeah, I led a session yesterday on innovation, and on one of the first parts was finding, attracting, getting on board, keeping and growing the right people. So one of the most innovative sources I've ever used, was a radio spot, a Hispanic radio spot.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
And I found the station that most of my target audience I want to attract to, and I put it on ad on there. Best results I ever had. A line. Multiple people deep arriving at the next day. So
Great.
my
There
most
you go.
successful, most
There
innovative
you
way
go.
was a radio spot in Spanish.
Wow.
Good
Yeah.
job.
So
Recruitment's critical
you bet.
Yeah.
You'll always be recruiting.
all the time.
This
for
is
sure.
Head Harvester Bill Armin.
And Head Harvester Ed LaFlamme.
Head Harvester for Human Resources Steve Caesar.
Now go out there and
harvest
harvest
your
your potential.